Oh, hey, Pumpkin. Are you off to bed? Huh? I swear it's Daddy's turn to read to you tonight. Oh, okay. You want me to read to you? But Pumpkin, I'm so sleepy. I am. I'm very sleepy. Okay. How about you read to me first? No? Okay. Okay, baby. Did you already choose a book? No? Okay, go choose a book and then come get me. No, that's not gonna work either. Okay. I'm up. Okay, little love, I'm up. Let's go choose a book. Okay. What are you in the mood for tonight, Pumpkin? Let's see. Oh, you chose one? Okay. Oh, this is a fun book. It is a book filled with short stories, but not just any short stories. Animal short stories. And we love our furry friends, don't we, baby? Okay, come on. Let's get you into bed. Okay. Okay, got your teddy? Okay. Alrighty. Mama's gonna put this blanket on her. Alright. Okay, Pumpkin, so there are a lot of stories to choose from. Shall we start from the beginning and work our way through? Or do you want to choose one? Choose one? Okay. How about you choose one and Mama will choose one? Sound good? Okay. Let's see. All right, so we have the old woman and her pig, the giraffe who saw to the end of the world, lizard comes down from the north, Anansi and common sense, Puss in Boots, a lion in the meadow, the little house, Sam in the wind. Anything sounding good, baby? Yeah? Okay, you found one? All right. Hold up. Mama has to choose one. Let me see. Hold on, baby. There's a lot to choose from. And I'm still waking up. Okay. Ooh, that sounds like a fun one. Okay. So I have mine, you have yours. All right, so let's read yours first, okay? All right, you nice and comfy? All right. So this book is called A Treasury of Animal Stories, chosen by Linda Yeatman, illustrated by Hilda Offen. And we have a fun picture of all of these animals in the forest, in the wood, surrounded by trees and bushes and grass. All right. Okay, so we're going to read yours first. All right. Henny Penny. One day, Henny Penny was scratching in the farmyard looking for something good to eat when suddenly something hit her on the head. "My goodness me," she said. "The sky must be falling down. I must go and tell the king." She had not gone far when she met her friend, Cocky Locky. "Where are you going in such a hurry?" he called out. "I am going to tell the king that the sky is falling down," said Henny Penny. "I will come with you," said Cocky Locky. So Henny Penny and Cocky Locky hurried along together towards the king's palace. On the way, they saw Ducky Lucky swimming on the pond. "Where are you going?" he called out. "We are going to tell the king the sky is falling down," replied Henny Penny. "We must go quickly as there is no time to lose." "I will come with you," said Ducky Lucky, shaking the water off of his feathers. These are fun names, huh? So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, and Ducky Lucky hurried on together towards the king's palace. On the way, they met Goosey Lucy, who called out, "Where are you all going in such a hurry?" "We are on our way to tell the king the sky is falling down," said Henny Penny. "I will come with you," said Goosey Lucy. So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy hurried on together towards the king's palace. Round the next corner, they met Turkey Lurkey. "Where are you all going on this fine day?" she called out to them. "It won't be a fine day for long," replied Henny Penny. "The sky is falling down, and we are hurrying to tell the king." "I will come with you," said Turkey Lurkey. So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey all went on towards the king's palace. Now on their way, they met Foxy Loxy, who asked, "Where are you going in such a hurry?" "We are going to the king's palace to tell him the sky is falling down," replied Henny Penny. "That is a very important message," said Foxy Loxy. "I will come with you. In fact, if you follow me, I can show you a shortcut to the king's palace, so you will get there sooner." Smells like mischief. So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey all followed Foxy Loxy. He led them to the wood and up to a dark hole, which was the door to his home. Inside, his wife and 5 hungry children were waiting for him to bring home some dinner. That, I am sorry to say, was the end of Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey. For one by one, they all followed Foxy Loxy into his home, and they were all eaten up by the hungry fox family. Henny Penny was the last to enter the fox's hole, and she heard Cocky Locky crowing in alarm in front of her. Squawking with fright and scattering feathers, she turned and ran as fast as she could for the safety of her own farmyard. There she stayed, and she never did tell the king that the sky was falling down. Oh, that was a sad story, baby. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was going to be. That was kind of morbid right before bed. Okay. But we know that is nature, huh? A circle of life. Things like that happen all the time, huh? Okay. Which is the one that Mama chose? Okay, here we go. Let's see if this one is a little bit lighter. Okay. A Journey to the Sea by Donald Bissett. Yak was waiting for the morning. He heard the tinkling of a bell in the monastery nearby. Every morning, while it was still dark, he could hear it. Small white snowflakes fell out of the dark onto his long, warm hair. Gradually, the sun rose. For a moment, all was still. Then out of the grayness floated a seagull. "Yark!" he cried. "Umph," replied Yak, which is a sound very like which is a sound very like cows make while they are waiting in the meadows to be taken home at milking time. Maka, the seagull, landed on a rock close by. Now it was morning. Maka was Yak's friend who lived by the sea. How Yak longed to go to the seaside. Maka had told him about the children with buckets and spades on the beach, about the waves that rolled ashore every moment, hour after hour, day after day, year after year, for 1,000 million years, way beyond the edge of time. That's a pretty long time, huh? Maka hopped from the rock and laid something among the stones by Yak's hooves. It was a seashell, a lovely spiral seashell. "For me?" Yak looked at him. He put his ear by the shell and heard, as from far away, the hiss and murmur of the sea. "Yark!" went Maka and flew away. Yak tilted his head and hooked the shell onto one of his horns, then pressed it lightly against a rock so that it held firm. He felt another yak close by and knew it was his mother. She licked him. "Yaks can't go to the seaside, Yak," she said. "It's much too far away and you'd get lost." Maka was a speck in the distance. "Perhaps I could follow Maka," said Yak. "He passes every morning on his way to the sea." His mother ate some grass. Yak wandered down the hill. He crossed a mountain stream, stepping on the stones. "Hello, Yak! Hello, Yak!" called the stream. "Look at me! Look at me! I'm going to the seaside." Yak stumbled on a stone and fell splash into the water. He didn't mind. It was rather fun being carried along by the stream. He lay on his back and watched the sun rise. Then he shut his eyes. It felt funny moving without seeing where he was going, yet rather nice. So he stayed like that. When he opened his eyes again, the river, now no longer a stream, was flowing gently. The sun was overhead. A heron was standing in the water. As Yak floated by, it stared after him. It had never seen a yak floating down the river before. "Well," thought the heron, "he's going to get to the seaside soon." He flapped his wings and flew after Yak, who had turned over and was swimming now. "Mph," Yak called to the heron. It was difficult making murphing noises in the water. "Mph, gulp, where am I?" The heron didn't hear him and flew away. Yak was alone on the wide, wide river. He could feel the shell on his horn. Waves rippled against him. He felt strangely contented. He lapped the water. It was salty. Salt, thought Yak. Sea, thought Yak. Maka had told him that the sea was salty. He turned over on his back again and drifted. Shall I shut my eyes again? He thought. Shall I keep them shut and see? How can I see if they're shut? I am a silly Yak. Yak sometimes talked to himself like this inside his head. I mean, he thought, see what happens. It's a sort of see what happens day. So he shut his eyes. He could hear a boat go chug, chug, chug as it passed in the distance. Yak floated on. Next time he opened his eyes, the sun was further across the sky, and Yak felt hungry. So he paddled towards the shore and climbed the river bank and ate some grass. There was a strange smell in the air and a noise. He'd heard that noise before in his shell. He stumbled hurriedly through the grass. He climbed a hill. There, ahead, was a vast expanse of water. Yak gazed at it for a long time. All around, the sky and the sea touched, and the waves sparkled in the sunshine. To his right, on the yellow sand, some children were watching something. Yak went to look. It was a Punch and Judy show. Maka had told him about those. He stayed to watch. What's a Punch and Judy show? It's like a puppet show. Presently, a man with an ice cream cart came by. Lovely ice creams, he called. 10 a pence each. The children bought some. Yak went on following the man, who stopped and looked at him. Then he smiled and gave Yak an ice cream. Lick. Oh, yum! Yak liked it very much. They walked on together. In the distance were some rocks. You go along there, a Yaka, said the man. He was an Italian man. Oh, I didn't realize. That was a pretty poor impression of an Italian man. It's okay. You go along there and find a nice cave. He lifted his hat and said goodbye. Mmph, went Yak, and walked till he came to the rocks. It was quiet there. Yak did find a cave. Yak did find a cave, a nice dry cave. He rested and looked at the sea. I'm at the seaside, he thought. Really at the seaside. The waves rolled ashore, minute after minute, hour after hour, nearer and nearer, rolling among the pebbles and sand as Yak lay watching. A big ship, tiny in the distance, crept like a snail across the horizon. Some seagulls flew about, mewing as they played. Yak looked, but Maka wasn't among them. Presently, it began to grow dark, then darker and darker. The moon rose, and all was still, save for the sound of the waves breaking on the shore. Yak listened to his shell again. It made exactly the same noise as the sea. What a day it had been. He had come such a long way and been so many new things and seen so many new things. He listened to his shell just once more, then curled up so that his warm hair covered his nose and his legs, and soon fell fast asleep. That was pretty cute, huh? You're still awake, baby? Okay. Okay, shall we read one more? Okay. Ooh, this sounds like a fun one. I don't think I've ever heard of this story. Maybe I have. Let's see. Okay. So this one is called Pegasus, the Winged Horse. And this is a Greek legend. Okay. Long ago, there lived the fiercest monster imaginable, called the Chimera. He had 3 heads, each of them different, and could breathe fire from all 3 mouths at once. One head was shaped like a goat, one like a lion, and the third was in the form of a serpent. All might have been well if the monster had lived quietly in the mountains, but he was so fierce and so hungry, he was forever coming down into the cities and villages, eating people, destroying buildings, and burning up crops on the farms. No one could get near enough to kill him, for his flames reached out too far. It looked as though the whole of mankind would be destroyed by the Chimera. The king of the country where the Chimera did so much damage offered a great reward to anyone who would rid him of this monster. There was a young man called Bellerophon, I hope I pronounced that right, who wanted to prove his bravery, and so he came forward. He had an idea that if he could attack the monster from the air, he might have a chance of winning. One night, in a dream, Athene, the goddess of wisdom, came to Bellerophon and told him about Pegasus, the winged horse of the gods, of the fountain where the horse liked to drink, and where he might find a golden bridle which would help him tame the horse. So Bellerophon went to the fountain and found the bridle of gold and hid until Pegasus came to drink. He was such a lovely horse that Bellerophon almost forgot to catch him. But as Pegasus was drinking, he crept up and slipped the reins over the horse's neck. Pegasus, who had never been touched by a man before, jumped away, and as he did, so Bellerophon leaped onto his back. A great struggle took place between them, for Pegasus tried every trick he knew to throw Bellerophon off. He soared up into the sky. He twisted, bucked, reared, spun around. Somehow, Bellerophon hung on, and at last he was able to get the bit into Pegasus' mouth. Soon after this, Pegasus gave in and came to rest on the ground, his sides heaving with exhaustion. Bellerophon explained to the beautiful white-winged horse why he had captured him and how he needed his help to save the kingdom from the fire-eating monster. As he spoke, he saw that there were tears in the horse's eyes and said, "I cannot do this to you. It is no quarrel of yours. You shall go free, and I must find some other way to win his victory." He took off the bridle and watched Pegasus soar into the sky. In a few minutes, just as he was about to start his journey home, he felt a gentle nuzzle by his arm. To Bellerophon's amazement and delight, the horse had returned of his own free will. For many days, they trained together so that they would have the best possible chance against the Chimera. At last, the day came. Bellerophon took out his finest armor, sharpened his sword, and set out with Pegasus to slay the monster. The Chimera was outside his cave, preparing to raid another village, for he was feeling hungry. Before he knew what was happening, and without hearing more than a faint whir in the air above him, he felt an agonizing blow. Bellerophon had chopped off one of his heads. It was the goat's head, and it lay in the dust while the monster roared with pain and lashed his tail with rage. Smoke and flames shot out in every direction as he tried to find his attacker. Hidden by the smoke, Pegasus and Bellerophon were able to swoop down on him again, and in a flash, the sword swept through another neck. This time, the lion's head rolled in the dust. The monster was wild and savage with pain and anger. He hurled himself at his attackers and clung to Pegasus with his huge scaly claws as the horse rose into the air. Bellerophon thought that they would surely die. The heat from the flames was terrible, and the serpent's head was only inches from his own. But the horse never wavered, soaring higher and higher into the air. As the serpent's head stretched out to strike, Bellerophon saw a weak spot under his neck and drove his sword in with all his strength. The Chimera gave a ghastly scream. His hold on Pegasus loosened, and he tumbled backwards in a shower of sparks. He crashed to the ground, burning as he went. Bellerophon became a great hero, and so did the winged horse. They had other adventures together, but when Bellerophon tried to fly to heaven with Pegasus, he was thrown. Some people said that Zeus, the king of the gods, was jealous and sent an insect to tickle Pegasus and make him throw his rider. Pegasus went on flying up to heaven, where he was changed into a group of stars, which you may see if you are lucky. That was a pretty cool story. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Sweet dreams, kiddo. And remember, you are loved and you are love. Good night.